Hi out there in the YouTube world. It's April 1st. It's 4:45, and this is not a joke. This is not an April Fool's joke. I'm going to be doing an astrological forecast for today, tomorrow, and the day following that. And I'm going to be using Nakshatras. This is a whole new level. I've been using the 12 zodiac signs, and the Nakshatras are just further subdivisions that actually help to give more detail and further psychological understanding. And yeah, so there's some intense times coming up on April 4th. We have the full moon, okay? And it's also an eclipse. This is very intense energy. I'm gonna get to the eclipse part a little bit later. Right now I'm gonna explain the energies of right now. Okay? So, the sun right now, today, is at 11 degrees in Aries. But if we want to extrapolate upon that, it's actually in Ashwini, which is the horsewoman, which rules from 0 degrees to like about 13 degrees. So we're at 11 degrees now, and we will be for the next 48 hours when it comes to the sun, okay? Now, 48 hours, that seems like a long time, but we've actually been in Ashwini for like the past 2 weeks, so we're actually moving out of that energy. And it was the power to set things in motion, journey from darkness to light, have miracles happen, healing and transportation. So that's all things that the sun's energy has been bringing, and will still be for the next 48 hours. A little bit more of a detailed about Ashwini. In mythology, Sanja is the name of the goddess who disguised herself as a horse and fled from her husband because he betrayed her. He caught up with her, and their offspring produced the Ashwini Kamaras, the horse-headed twins. Each day, the twins bring the dawn as their chariot speeds through the sky. Indications: the star of transport. They are pioneers, explorers, always ready to try something new. They have zeal and a zest for life, heroic and very courageous. So, now, this energy is like strong, as you can see, right? It's a part of Aries, but it's like we're moving out of this energy now. And, yeah, so then we're going to be going into Brahini, which is the bearer of new life, okay? But that's where the sun is going to be in 48 hours from now. So I'll mention that after, because right now, the moon is also at about 11 degrees, but it's in Virgo. Now, to further extrapolate on that, that is the symbol of the hand, and it rules from 10 degrees to about 23 degrees in Virgo, and it will be there for the next 24 hours. So April 2nd, we're going to be at around 2 or 3 o'clock. We're going to be moving out of that energy. And what Hasta represents, so what we have right now, and for the next 24 hours, for the moon is the mind, remember that. So the moon is in Hasta, which is power to rule or control others for higher purposes, discrimination or resolution to bring people or circumstances under one's control. Martializing of desperate forces of energy. And this is going to be moving into Chitra, which is the bright star. So like imagine like that's its symbol. It's like a bright pearl, bright star, a jewel, bright jewel. And that's where the moon is going to be in 24 hours from now. And that's all about like artistic beauty, dazzling stuff, fashion, manufacturing, the will to undergo trials that are necessary to attain goals of perfection, hence like the diamond, like it's a pearl. And yeah, in Virgo it may show engineering skills. Yeah, so that's a bit about the moon today and tomorrow. And then when we're looking at Brahini, which is where we will be in, the sun will move to in 48 hours from now, and it will remain there. I chose to kind of segue away from Brahini before, and now go back to it, because even though it's in 48 hours, when we are in Brahini, remember that we're going to be in it for like 2 weeks. So, the sun's energy. So it's going to bring about justice, discipline, and truth, and the power to withstand onslaught of great forces, giving forbearance, patience, self-control, restraint, and tolerance, as well as having the endurance, and it is the maker of saints. So that's the sun's energy that it'll be bringing in 48 hours from now, and for the next 2 weeks. But we want to remember also is that this full moon is going to be very, very strong, because it is going to have, it's going to be in Swati, which is the sword or independence. And normally a full moon, like everyone knows that the moon is like even non-astrological people know that like the full moon brings about more intense energies, like, and can be like unstable, especially if people aren't centered in their energy. And Swati, where the full moon, and it's also an eclipse, so it's like a double whammy, represents like and gives restlessness, independence, freedom-loving, coming and going according to one's own will, self-establishing, self-supporting, purifying, knowledge of the akashic or etheric dimensions. And this is going to be very, very amplified, because I also looked at the natal chart of like the earth and like time for that full moon event, and the sun is going to be actually exactly opposite the moon, which is like really clashing, because all oppositions bring about like kind of the negative traits, and it's going to be opposite the sun, it's going to be opposite Uranus, it's going to be opposite Pluto, it's going to be opposite Mercury, and it's going to, like, so all of those oppositions are going to bring out conflict with, like, ego and communicational abilities. And because we have Pluto and Uranus there, those are very, like, death and transformational planets that will often bring about new ways. So, especially because it's on a full moon and an eclipse, that's very important around the full moon to be centered, because I'm sure everyone will be feeling this. So that's why I thought I would do this video, to help, you know, remember to be centered in these times. And the only force that's really going to be helping through that is Jupiter is sextile. So there's going to be some Jupiterian energies. So you want to try to think of things as more as Jupiter would. Lighthearted, try not to be too attached to the physicality or worry about storylines and like the dramas that, you know, like people that have strong Jupiter will know what I'm talking about when that, because it can be a little bit seen as arrogant or like high and mighty on itself. But it really doesn't have attachments to like physical things so much, so try to focus more on that. And yeah, I hope that this video has been helpful. Subscribe if it's your first one, and I'm not going to be doing like astrological reports like every, like, I don't know, every day or any of that, but when there are major transitions occurring in like the celestial clock, then I'll keep you posted. So, mwah. See you in my next one.